fast car
Oh,
pretty much for the day?
It was fast. I got 3 tickets in about 3-4 weeks, and I had to change my ways. But no, it was a great car.
Happy birthday, Al. Happy birthday, Alfred.
Went to Little Lake School, and after the 33 earthquake, they finally condemned the school. Right across the street from the cemetery, and we went to school in tents. You know, they were permanent tents.
Yeah.
I went to because we moved there when I was in the 2nd grade, and we went to school in the 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and we moved in to the new school.
Tell me about your family.
My father's name was Alfred M. Martin Stoll. Was born in Santa Paula, and his father came from Switzerland, and it took him 5 years to get across to Santa Paula, and he had to stop in Ohio. He ran out of money, and so he worked 5 years at $165 a year, and to save up enough money until he got to Santa Paula. Grandfather then started farming right alongside the river, and my mother's name was Anna Catherine Meyer, and her father came from Switzerland as well.
Happy birthday, Al!
Happy birthday, Al. You're the best doing all the lines at the tail twisting. You're my #1 stud. You always hit your lines. We love you, buddy. Happy birthday. Al, what do you think about the female firefighters losing control of the controlled burn and destroying 17 buildings?
That's why we don't have women in the club.
Tell me how you met your wife, Bobby.
I met her at Whittier College, but I never did date her when I was in college. Whittier College was playing Occidental for our big rivalry. Anyway, so I asked her for a date, and that's how it started. But I knew her a little bit because I was an upperclassman, but I graduated in 3 years rather than 4 years.
Now, what are some of your favorite memories or events from Lions Club?
Well, the horse show has always been my favorite project.
Yeah, I could totally see why. Yeah, it's
And
perfect horse
because
show.
when I was a kid, we had 35 horses, work horses. And, but the horse show was a lot of fun. And our first wine tasting was in the old packing house. There were the antique place, several
Right.
packing houses up and down Whittier Boulevard.
What do you like about being a member of the Lions Club?
That we did. First of all, we have a good time, and secondly, and we've then had some pretty good sized projects, and still are.
Happy birthday, Al!
My favorite Al story happened about sometime last year as I was leading into becoming president. I see Al standing over here by the doorway, and he's sitting there and he's got his hand in his pocket and his head is cocked a little bit, and he looks like he's waiting for a bus. So I tell him, Al, you look like you're waiting for a bus. He says, well, I kind of am. He says, I'm waiting for Jed, who's my ride back home. And I said, oh, okay, very nice. And he says, but I've been meaning to talk to you. And I said, oh, about what? He says, I'm really looking forward to your presidency. And I said, well, I was taken aback a little bit. I said, that makes one of us. He says, you're not looking forward to it. I go, well, I'm starting to get a little nervous as the day approaches. And Al says, let me tell you this. He says, you get nervous. He says, I call it butterflies. He says, you get butterflies because you care. Don't ever lose those butterflies. That means you care. So I took that to heart, and I think about it every time I get nervous about speaking in public. I think about.
You mentioned to me some of your biggest challenges that you faced in life were making good decisions at a young age for the ranch.
That's when they put Florence through our property at an angle. And so we went to court and we beat the county pretty badly. They had two appraisers who didn't know much about farming. The county's appraiser asked the best crop for this area. Lemons and avocados are better because it gets cold here. Well, he had it backwards. Oranges, and the judge said, "You said what?"
The judge?
Yeah. The judge said that. I figured we were on the right track.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite family traditions that you've had?
We always did as a family, I think we did most of our things together. The Kaufman family and our family was very, very close. We used to water ski together as a family and with the Kaufmans. And so I know the Kaufman kids as well as I know my own kids.
That's kind of like a tradition, just to get together and have these experiences doing stuff together.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to travel together and go on vacations together and stuff like that. We used to fish together.
And I know you mentioned something about University of Washington.
Yeah, boys in a boat.
On a chilly August day in 1936, just outside Berlin, Germany.
The Americans walk into this thing thinking they're in a race, but what they actually are part of a global stage.
And millions back in the United States tuned into their radios. The Americans entered the water, with a key member of their team suffering from a severe lung infection. And the worst lane assignment on the course, putting them directly in the face of an unrelenting wind. Adversity was once again shadowing the 9 boys who'd brought their racing shell across the world from what was still America's frontier.
The odds of these blue-collar boys living in the worst time in American history becoming sports heroes are just astronomical.
Tell me your children's names.
Richard, or Dickie. He's an attorney in Orange County, and he's now 71 years old. My daughter Susan, she lives over here in Melgar. In Sun Gold. She lives about 3 blocks from where she grew up. Went to the University of Redlands. She does landscaping.
So she has the farmer's blood.
Yeah.
Rob,
yeah. He's a good agent too. He is a good broker, better than I was. And he works well with people.
he seems like it, yeah.
Hey, happy birthday, Al. So good to see you today. Hope you stay with us another 100 years. Happy birthday, buddy.
Al, have just a wonderful, wonderful day.
Happy birthday, Al. We love you, buddy.
Happy birthday, Al. Happy 98th.
A very happy birthday. All the best.
And his name is Brock. And the twins, they're not identical. This is Cooper, and this is Archer. And they're goers, I'll tell you. I used to coach. I'm leaving the office at 4 o'clock, and that's it. So I did it for 15 years.
Wow, long time. I've coached as well, and it's pretty rewarding. So
It really is.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't too long ago, I was down at Mimi's. Kid walks over and says, "Mr. Stoll, you don't remember me?" And I said, "I sure do." And he played for me only 1 year, but I had some pretty good ball players.
Do for fun.
So
And
we had the river. We were down the river right after a rain, and sometimes the river had about 2 feet of water. So one time we built a raft, and we put it in the water, didn't tell our folks about it. We went down the river about 8, 9, 10 miles, got almost to Long Beach, and abandoned the raft and walked home.
what would you like to share with others?
You gotta treat people fairly, tell them the truth, and have integrity in dealing with people. Gotta work hard, because I don't know if I ever told you about when one day I was working with my dad. I was still in high school, and a fellow named Frank Blake, he came in a suit, and talked to my dad, and he wanted to buy a piece of property. My dad said, as he walks away, he said, "Al, just look at him." He said, I've been working my ass off all my life. And he said, and I worked hard, and at the end of the day, I'm tired. He said, look at him. He doesn't work. And you know, I wish my dad was alive that I could tell him that I worked a hell of a lot harder selling real estate at the end of the day.